Weir from Hamilton in Lanarkshire, who is making his 8th appearance on 15 to 1. He's been a winner 4 times and he's appeared in 3 grand finals, the last time in Series 17, but for Series 18 he took a sabbatical, so it's nice to see him back again. Welcome back, Tom. Friday's winner, Donald Yule, a previous grand finalist, there he is at position number 5 on the board, displaced those 4 names on the sidelines, so we're now looking for 3 winning scores above 111 to give us a full finals board again. Right. Off we go. 2 questions each in the first round, 1 correct answer from you to survive, and we start with Joe Devereux from Leighton in London. Joe, the royal family. Which palace is the official London residence of the Princess of Wales?
Kensington Palace.
Alan, please, politics. Which cabinet position is held by Sir George Young?
Minister of Defence.
Secretary of State for Transport. Doug, awards. The annual ceremony of which organisation links awards which bear the names of David Lean, Richard Dimbleby, Michael Balkan and Hugh Weldon?
Don't know, sir.
BAFTA, the British Academy of Film and Television Arts. Valerie, how many letters are there in the Greek alphabet?
28.
24. Dorothy, please. Television. Homer, Marge, Lisa, Maggie and Bart are members of which television cartoon family?
The Simpsons.
Susan, the USA. In which month of the year are presidential elections held and Veterans Day and Thanksgiving Day celebrated?
November.
Tom, please, poetry. This Englishwoman, The Galloping Cat and Not Waving But Drowning, poems by which 20th century female English writer?
Don't know.
Stevie Smith. Scott, please. Which castle in West Sussex is the home of the Duke of Norfolk?
Arundel Castle.
Yes, Arundel Castle. John, on March the 24th, 1603, the British monarchy changed from which royal house to which royal house?
From Tudor to Stewart.
Laura, medicine. Vitiligo is a disorder which affects what?
Skin.
Nick, please, classical music. Orpheus in the Underworld and the Tales of Hoffmann. The German-born French composer, please.
Offenbach.
Donald. Animals. Leporine is an adjective that relates to which wild creatures?
Tigers.
Hares. Rachel, British Prime Ministers. Who is the only former British Prime Minister to be buried in St Paul's Cathedral?
Churchill.
The Duke of Wellington. Bill, what is Siam now called?
Thailand.
Michael, Nuneaton, Rugby and Kenilworth and Stratford-upon-Avon are parliamentary constituencies in which county?
Warwickshire.
And your second question, Joe. What is the traditional county town of Cornwall?
Truro.
That's the administrative centre. This is Bodmin. Alan, George Baker has starred in more than 30 films and over 100 television roles. In which role is he best known to television audiences?
Got no idea, sorry.
Inspector Wexford, the Ruth Rendell Mysteries. Doug, medicine. What in degrees Celsius is normal body temperature?
38.4.
37. Valerie, please. Literature. Thomas Keneally's novel on which the film Schindler's List was based. What was the novel called?
No idea.
Schindler's Ark. Dorothy, music and charts. What name has been given to the new music chart for recordings that are considered neither truly classic nor truly pop music? It's the classical crossover chart. Susan, this is literature. Conan Doyle. A great detective investigates the mysterious death of a man found in his garden beside the prints of a massive dog. Which novel is that?
Don't know.
The Hound of the Baskervilles. Tom, the United Nations. There are 6 official languages used by the United Nations. English and French are 2. 2 of the other 4, please.
Russian, Chinese.
Yes, Arabic and Spanish. Scott, which poem by Henry Newbolt tells of the death of a 16th century English sea captain and starts with lying in his hammock and 1,000 miles away?
Sailing Super Ascension.
Drake's Drum. Drake, he's in his hammock and 1,000 miles away. John, what's the name of the sinister housekeeper in Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca?
Smith.
It's not a bad guess, but it's Mrs. Danvers. Laura, Members of which profession would be awarded the QPM for gallantry?
Police force.
Yes, it's the Queen's Police Medal. Nick, in which sport is Nicky Gooch a British national champion?
Badminton.
Speed skating. Donald, the senior law officer of the Crown in England and Wales is the Attorney General. What's his equivalent in Scotland?
Procurator Fiscal.
The Lord Advocate. Rachel, who was appointed as dressmaker to the Queen in 1955 and still holds that same post 42 years later?
Don't know.
Sahadi Ames. Bill, current benefits. In order for cold weather payments to be made, the average temperature must be at freezing point or below for how many consecutive days?
5.
For 7 days. And Michael, on the same subject, what is the current weekly cold weather payment when it is paid?
£10 a week.
£8.50. Five down, 10 to go. Laura?
And they are Alan Lewis, Doug Fryer, Valerie Thomas, Donald Phelan and Rachel Knight. And of the remaining 10 contestants, only one still has the 3 lives intact.
Joe, this first question will start round 2 for us. How old is Prince William?
10.
14. Dorothy, please. The name, please, of the bay or inlet of the North Sea which lies between Norfolk and Lincolnshire.
The Wash.
A number, please.
15.
Michael, this is the royal family. In which year did the present Queen, then Princess Elizabeth, become heir presumptive to the throne?
1937.
36, when her father became king. Again, please, Dorothy.
14.
Games, please, Bill. In which game are Queen's Gambit accepted, King's Indian Defence and Alakeen's Defence moves?
Chess.
A number, please.
6.
Susan, there are 3 Treasury Ministers among the 23 members of the Cabinet. The Prime Minister, the Chancellor of the Exchequer. Who's the third?
The Home Secretary.
Chief Secretary to the Treasury. Again, please.
Number 7.
Medicine, Tom. 2 branches of medicine are specifically concerned with the care of women. Gynecology and...
Obstetrics.
A number, please, Tom.
Number 1, please.
Ceremony, Joe. What name is given to the farewell bugle call at military funerals?
The last post.
A number, please.
Number 8.
Scott, petrology. Petrology is the study of the origin, structure and composition of what?
Rocks.
A number, please.
14, please.
Bill, what does the ancient practice of feng shui concern? Feng shui.
Martial arts.
No, it's your living space at home and at work. By making changes to it, you can alter your life. Again, please.
15.
Opera, please, Michael. A hunchback jester hires a man to murder his employer, but finds the resulting corpse is not his employer, but his daughter. Which opera is that?
I don't know.
Rigoletto. Again, please.
10, please.
Laura, which television personality was recently nicknamed Princess Tippy-Toes by a colleague?
Anthea Turner.
By Eamon Holmes. A number, please.
14, please.
Sport, Bill. In which sport is making the cut a well-known expression to indicate qualifying for further competition or progressing to the next round?
Fencing.
Golf. Again, please.
6, please.
Susan, to which small nocturnal mammal does the adjective erinaceous relate?
Mole.
The hedgehog. Again, please, Laura.
7, please.
Tom, in which century did William Shakespeare die and did Samuel Pepys write his diary?
17th.
A number, please, Tom.
Number 5, please.
Football, Dorothy. Of which Premiership football club is Jerry Francis the manager?
Tottenham Hotspur.
A number, please, Dorothy.
Number 1.
Joe, the capital of Indonesia, Jakarta, lies on which island?
No,
Java. Again, please, Dorothy.
7.
Tom, astronomy. Where in the heavens might you see Bailey's beads?
around the sun during an eclipse.
No, around the edge of the moon before and after a total eclipse of the sun. Again, please, Dorothy.
Number 8.
The sea, Scott. Much prized by collectors, what is a Venus's flower basket?
Is it a type of crustacean, a shell?
No, it's the skeleton of a tropical sponge. Again, please, Dorothy.
Number 9.
John, cartoon characters. Willie the Mouse, Pong Ping, Bill Badger and Gregory are chums of which popular children's cartoon character?
Rupert the Bear.
You've got the right sweater on for him, haven't you?
Number 11.
Nick, in which century were Edward I, Edward II and Edward III all on the English throne?
The 14th.
A number, please.
Number 5, please.
Education, Dorothy. In which county in cathedral cities are the two oldest schools in England still in existence? One founded in 600 AD and the other in 604 AD.
Which cities?
I said which county?
Which county, sorry.
Kent. It's King's School at Canterbury and King's School in Rochester. Again, please.
Number 8, please.
And Scott, what is the name of the device which measures the height of an aircraft above sea level?
Altimeter.
Yes, altimeter, yes. A number, please.
Number 7, please.
Tom, politics. What term is given to the rules which have from time to time been agreed by each House of Parliament to regulate the conduct of its business and proceedings?
House rules.
Standing orders. Scott, please.
Number 5, please.
Folk tales, Dorothy. How did Scheherazade keep her new husband entertained at night and thus ensure her safety?
I don't know, Fred.
She told him 1,001 tales of the Arabian Nights. Again, please, Scott.
Number 9, please.
John, of the 15 companies that make up the ITV network, 2 are not on mainland Great Britain. Which 2?
Ulster Television.
And?
Channel Islands.
Yeah, Channel.
Number 11.
And Nick, please. In which palace in 1874 was Winston Churchill born?
Blenheim.
A number, please, Nick.
Number 8.
Medicine, Scott. Hydrosis, 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 is the technical term for which bodily condition or function?
Sweating.
Yes, perspiration. A number, Scott.
Number 9.
John, church architecture. What name, an Old English word meaning crucifix, is given to the screen in a church which separates the chancel from the nave?
Don't know.
A rood screen. Scott, please.
Number 11.
Nick, at which 2 specific points on the Earth's surface is longitude irrelevant in pinpointing one's position?
The North and South Poles.
Yes, the geographical poles.
Number 9, please.
John, poetry. This is Tennyson. The mirror cracked from side to side, the curses come upon me cried. Who cried?
I don't know.
The Lady of Shalott. There we are, as it has to be. It's 12 down, 3 to go. And after the break, Scott Douthwaite from Milton Keynes, Laura Bampton from Spencer's Wood in Berkshire, and Nick Higgins from Baldock in Hertfordshire will be here for the final. Do please stay with us.
The 3 surviving contestants in today's 15-to-1 final are Scott Douthwaite, who is currently unemployed and who comes from Milton Keynes. He enjoys photography, playing games on the computer, and taking part in pub quizzes. He is also a fan of the Carry On films and black and white comedy films. Laura Bampton, a building surveyor from Spencer's Wood in Berkshire. She graduated 18 months ago from the University of the West of England and is now working towards becoming a charter surveyor. In the little spare time she has, she enjoys photography and listening to 1950s music. And Nick Higgins, a mental health nurse from Baldock in Hertfordshire. He is a staff nurse on the Wilbury ward at the Lister Hospital in Stevenage, and his hobbies include drawing and sketching, listening to music, and working out at the gym.
Thank you. Welcome back. Scott, Laura, Nick, put your fingers on the buzzers and we'll make a start. And a winning score above 111 would give one of you a place on the finals board. Here we go. Sport. What name is given to the ceremonial circuit of a sports ground by a winner? Nick?
Lap of honour.
Indeed. Leonardo da Vinci painted a famous scene on the wall of the refectory of Santa Maria delle Grazie. What's it called? Nick?
The Last Supper.
Yes, in Milan. This is sport, tennis. When the score is 40-30, how many points have been played in the game? Laura?
5.
On we go. Palermo is the principal port of which Mediterranean island? Scott?
Sardinia.
Sicily. Politics. Who was the last Conservative Prime Minister never to have led his party to victory at a general election? Alec Douglas Hume. Dartmoor lies wholly in which English county? Laura?
Devon.
It does. English folk songs. Alas, my love, you do me wrong to cast me off discourteously. They are the first lines of a song sometimes attributed to King Henry VIII. Nick?
Greenslaves.
Yes. Question or nominate, Nick?
Question, please.
Science. What's the name of the pigment obtained from certain lichens that is turned red under acid conditions and restored to blue under alkaline conditions?
Litmus.
Question or nominate?
Question.
In the strip cartoon and animated films, who is the large, dull-witted companion of Asterix?
Obelix.
Question or nominate?
Question, please.
Anniversaries. In the context of crossing the Atlantic, 1997 is the 70th anniversary of what famous event?
The Spirit of St. Louis, the crossing by Charles Lindbergh.
Yes, I'll take it. That's the name of his plane. Question or nominate?
Question, please.
What is the scientific or medical name for German measles?
Rubella.
That was a gift. You ought to give it back, Nick. Right, question or nominate?
Question, please.
Famous phrases. Who or what would be described as a limb of Satan?
No.
A mischievous child. Fingers back on the buzzers, please. Which country has 6 time zones ranging from 5 to 10 hours behind GMT? Scott?
Canada.
The USA. I think Canada does have 6 time zones, but I'm sure they range over a different period. Fingers back on the buzzers, please. Which member of the royal family is described in Who's Who as widow of uncle of Her Majesty? Princess Alice, the Duchess of Gloucester, the Dowager Duchess, that is. British history. In the 17th century, the addled, the short, the long and bare bones were names given to what? Nick?
Parliament.
Yes, sessions of Parliament. Question or nominate?
Nominate Laura, please.
Laura, history of the Oscars. Who is the only person named Oscar to have won an Oscar? He did so twice for songs he wrote for films.
Irving Berlin.
Oscar Hammerstein.
Oh, of course.
Nick, please again, question or nominate?
Scott, please.
Medicine, Scott. In medical terms, lipectomy is the surgical removal of what?
The lips.
It ought to be, but it's fat or fatty tissue. You have to leave it. Again, please, Nick, question or nominate?
Laura, please.
Shakespeare, Laura. In which Shakespeare play do the Greek commanders Achilles, Ajax and Ulysses appear?
I don't know.
Troilus and Cressida. Again, please, Nick.
Laura again, please.
Laura, London. Which major London shopping street runs from Marble Arch in the west to Tottenham Court Road in the east?
Oxford Street.
Question or nominate?
Nick, please.
Nick, in the context of women's liberation, in what way was a young woman called Diane Matthews famous for 15 minutes in 1972 for something she did in Bloomsbury?
Didn't burn her bra, did she?
Yes, she was the one. She started it all. Question or nominate?
Laura, please.
The Vaal, the Groot and the Orange are rivers in which African country?
South Africa.
Question or nominate?
Nick, please.
Under the rules of racing, a minimum of 4 officials are required to arbitrate at a race meeting. What are those officials called?
Stewards.
Question or nominate?
Nominate, please.
The name pleaseth a famous resort on a peninsula of New York City, which is derived from a Dutch word for rabbit. Coney Island. You have to leave the floor. You're sort of on track, Nick. 102 points. You have 2 lives left, 17 questions. You need a score above 111 for a place on the finals board. The law. What legal term is used to describe the situation in which a judge makes an error in law when summing up for a jury?
I don't know.
Misdirection. This is history of the 17th century. 2 grandchildren of Charles I married each other and became joint rulers of Britain. Who were they?
William and Mary.
Indeed. Furniture. By what name is a long case clock more popularly known?
Grandfather clock.
Yes, sometimes grandmother, sometimes granddaughter. Which city in the north of England is an archiepiscopal seat of the Church of England?
York.
Which Scottish city has the nickname the Granite City?
Aberdeen.
You had a lucky day today, son. Which former Soviet republic, now an independent state, was the first state in the world to adopt Christianity as its religion? It did so in 300 AD.
Armenia.
Charnwood Forest, Belvoir Castle and Market Bosworth are all in which English county?
Worcestershire.
Leicestershire. I think that was quite a tough final, actually. So did you, didn't you?
I did.
It did, you did. 152, your winning score, puts you in equal 6th position on the finals board and a sort of a borderline case for the grand final. If it doesn't work out that way, come and join us again later in the year.
Lovely.
Well done, Nick.
Thank you very much.
Stephen. That's it for today, but as you know, we're running through to July and then we'll be back in the autumn, so we'll be needing something like another 2,000 of you for the rest of 1997. And if you think you can come up with answers to questions like which country in the world was the first to adopt Christianity as its religion, or in which Shakespeare play do Achilles, Ajax and Ulysses appear, then we'd like to hear from you. Here's the address to write to: 15-1 PO Box 273, London SW15 1HE. And remember, postcards only, please. And here's a map to show you the towns in which we are holding auditions. And remember that we are not accepting applications from anyone who has previously had an audition or appeared on the series before. And finally, a note to Mr. Murphy from Higher Openshaw in Manchester, whose entry for our finals board competition was bottom score 101, top score 1,000. The highest score possible on 15-1 is 433. See if you can work out how that's possible. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 4 o'clock on Channel 4. See you then.
Stay with us here on 4. Countdown is next.